Hi everyone, this is Kristen, and if you're looking for a keyboard case for your iPad Pro 9.7-inch or iPad Air 2, you really might want to check out these excellent choices from Zagg. We have the Rugged Book Pro and Slim Book Pro here. These are both really good keyboard cases. They have exactly the same functionality and they cost exactly the same. The only difference is in how rugged their construction is. So let's check them out on my iPad Pro 9.7-inch and you can see what you think. So in comparing the Zagg Rugged Book Pro with the Slim Book Pro, you're certainly going to notice first of all that the Rugged Book Pro is a thicker case. It's made of a hard rubber and polycarbonate material. In addition, there is some steel framing inside. Everything is just very serious and heavy duty with this case. When you look at the Rugged Book Pro in comparison with your Slim Book Pro, you're definitely going to notice that the Rugged Book Pro is, well, more rugged and it's definitely a bit on the thicker side. It does have 6 feet of drop protection as opposed to the drop protective label that is on the Slim Book Pro. We don't really have an actual level of drop protection stated for the Slim Book Pro. So, I mean, it seems protective-ish, but it's certainly not nearly as protective as your Rugged Book Pro. Besides that, we just have a lot of similarities here. Both of these have a slot for Apple Pencil up at the top. You can look at them, they're basically identical in terms of their Apple Pencil slots. They both have a stand which folds up flat when not in use. In both cases, the stand is metal, but it's rubber covered for the Rugged Book Pro, and it's just simply a metal stand for your Slim Book Pro. In terms of the keyboard section of the case, let's look at our Rugged Book Pro first because it actually has my iPad in it. So what we have here is we have a removable keyboard. It's magnetically attached, very easy to put on and take off, but it's a really sturdy magnet. It feels like it should definitely hold on under a lot of strain and difficult circumstances. It's very easy to reattach as well. As far as the keyboard is concerned, these two cases are completely identical. Their keyboards are exactly the same. They have the same keys and the same functionality. The exteriors of the keyboards are a little bit different, but in terms of the keys and everything that they do, they are exactly 100% the same. So nice features that these have are that they can pair with multiple devices. So you have 3 gray keys up here. Once you have paired with one of these keys, then you can use that device with it and then toggle to another device when you want to use that. So for example, 1 might be set up for your iPad Pro, maybe 2 is set for the iPhone, and 3 for something else. So you can toggle in between the different devices using those keys. It's very, very convenient. This also has a backlit keyboard, which is excellent. We have function keys up here at the top, which are, variously convenient depending on what you are doing. We've got volume. There is one which will take you back to your home screen, another one which will bring up an on-screen keyboard, stuff like that. The keyboard battery charges via micro USB, and it has a battery life, according to Zagg, of 2 years, although I suspect that that is when you are using it very much on standby a lot of the time and not using the backlit keyboard. Backlit keyboard does tend to be a battery hog. As far as typing is concerned, everything works really well. I do like the spacing on here, and the key action is quite good. No issues there at all. This is a whole lot better than typing on your iPad. You can use your keyboard shortcuts and just have a whole lot of fun. You also have the ability to bring up international keyboards or emoji keyboards if you want to do that. And you can bring up an on-screen keyboard. I'm not really quite sure why you would want to bring up an on-screen keyboard when you have this keyboard, but it's also an option. So this is just a very useful keyboard. Everything works really well, and I think it adds a lot of utility to the iPad Pro. So one of the nice things about this product is, of course, that you don't have to have the keyboard attached all the time. This is magnetically detachable, very easy to take off, and then you can use this in a stand function, or you can also simply fold up your stand flat against the back and just use this as a flat tablet. Everything works really well with that. So this is just a really very usable product. In terms of the fit on the iPad Pro 9.7 inch, everything is quite good. We do have a nice amount of lip that runs around the screen. This should be nicely protective for your iPad Pro. One interesting design decision that they made was to cover up the speakers and route the sound sort of up out of the top. So basically, when you're looking at the bottom, you're expecting to see openings here for the speakers, but you don't see it because they're covered, and then you've got holes here, which makes the sound go upwards. As far as my experience has been concerned, everything works really well in terms of audio. I don't notice any degradation of audio because of this, and I'm sure that it's a lot more protective. So looking at our port openings, the Lightning port opening is sufficiently generous for many third-party Lightning cables. That's all very good. And going around over here to your headphone jack area, this is certainly fine. It's relatively deep, but should be fine for many headphones. The covered buttons are nice and responsive, give good protection to your iPad. And we also have a very nicely inset camera. There should be no issue whatsoever in terms of protection. This is very well protected, and there are no problems with flash photography with this case. It all works really well. So that is the Zagg Rugged Book Pro. Removing your iPad Pro from the Rugged Book Pro is really not too bad. You just simply start peeling back the corners here. They are rubberized, so this is actually quite easy to get off. And then you just kind of pull your iPad out once you get a sufficient number of corners undone. And there you go. Looking at the interior of this, what we have here is a hard polycarbonate back and then the rubberized sides. Everything is very nice, very sturdily made. Very impressed with the Zagg Rugged Book Pro. Looking again at the Slim Book, note that we do have a very different exterior on here than with the Rugged Book Pro. The material is a soft touch polycarbonate, feels very nice in the hand, although it does tend to attract cat hair, at least in my household, and little bits of lint, but it has a very nice, very elegant look to it. Putting your iPad in here is basically the same as with the Rugged Book. They do recommend that you put your top corner in first where all of your buttons are, and then press the other corners into place. So looking at the fit of my iPad Pro in the Slim Book Pro, there are a number of differences between this and the Rugged Book Pro that we just looked at. The bottom is entirely open here, so that you're certainly not going to have any problems in accessing anything, but of course you have quite a bit less protection than with the Rugged Book Pro. And going up over here, you can see again we've got nice clicky buttons here. These are slightly easier to click than on the Rugged Book Pro, but other than that they are essentially identical. And we have an uncovered power button. I'm not really quite sure why they decided to cover these and not cover the power button, but everything works really quite well. And of course the top of this, again, just like the bottom, it is completely exposed. So we do have quite a bit less protection than with the Rugged Book Pro. But everything looks nice, and this does have a bit lighter feel in the hand. So I just want to show you how things attach in terms of our keyboard. I'm not going to go through the keyboard rundown because it's exactly the same that we just looked at. These are completely 100% identical, but the look is essentially the same, just a little bit slimmer, just like you say. I mean, it's a Slim Book Pro as opposed to the Rugged Book Pro. So I think it just depends on what look, what functionality you were looking for. If you feel that the Rugged Book Pro is a little bit overkill, then you might want to go Slim Book Pro, but maybe you want that additional level of drop protection and toughness, in which case Rugged Book Pro is going to be a better choice for you. Very nice choice, whichever one you want to go with. Again, we've been looking at the Zagg Rugged Book Pro and Zagg Slim Book Pro for 9.7-inch iPad Pro and iPad Air 2. These products are the same price. They're both retail for $149.99, although they're currently available for 30% off on Zagg's website. So if you're interested, you might want to head over there and check them out. Many thanks to the nice folks at Zagg for sending me out these samples to review. If you have any questions about these products, please feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will do my best to address them. And if you are interested in subscribing to my channel, please consider it. I do try to put out 2 to 3 videos a week on accessories for iPhone 7 Plus, iPad Pro, and Samsung Galaxy S7, and I would love to have your support. Again, this is Kristen, and this is the Zagg Rugged Book Pro and Zagg Slim Book Pro for iPad Pro and iPad Air 2. Have a fantastic day.